Vegan. Be the personification of a walking angel.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
No one can keep his thoughts and feelings qualified with perfection unless he goes to the source of perfection, for that quality and perfection only abides within the God flame. Please continue watching for the revealed spiritual mysteries by Ascended Master Saint Germain, Vegetarian, as recorded by Guy W. Ballard.
If you ever visit fantastic Finland, you would hear a friendly terve from the locals. It means hello in the Finnish language. Loving viewers, my name is Kirsi. The light-hearted people of Finland wish you nights filled with divine light and days permeated with heavenly bliss. Welcome to God Flame, the Source of Perfection, from the Unveiled Mysteries by the Ascended Master Saint Germain, Vegetarian, Part 1 of 2, on Words of Wisdom. Guy Warren Ballard was a United States mining engineer and co-founder, together with his wife Edna Ann Wheeler Ballard, of the I Am spiritual movement, inspired by his life-changing meeting with the Ascended Master Saint Germain. One morning in 1930, Mr. Ballard, led subconsciously by his inner spiritual longing, went on a hike on beautiful Mount Shasta, located in the western U.S., where, according to legend, a group of divine adepts reside or could be seen. His sincerity and deep longing for the truth led to a profound experience that day. He was blessed by the appearance of the beloved Master, Saint Germain. Following this enlightening encounter, Mr. Ballard devoted his life to spreading the Master's wisdom according to his capacity. From Master Saint Germain's dictations and teachings, Mr. Ballard wrote a series of books under the pseudonym Godfrey Ray King. Master Saint Germain's imparted spiritual knowledge was the basis for many lectures given by Mr. Ballard, as well as for the founding of the I Am religious activity in the early 1930s. By 1938, it had up to 1 million followers. Today, the volumes documenting the valuable mysteries revealed by the Ascended Master to Godfrey Ray King are still a fascinating spiritual gem for many across the globe. The three most famous volumes are titled Unveiled Mysteries, The Magic Presence, and The I Am Discourses. Ascended Master Saint Germain is deeply venerated among the Theosophical Society as he represents the establishment of the Aquarian Age, an era that we are privileged to be witnessing. He is also identified with the Count of Saint Germain, a mysterious European figure who possessed a great inner knowledge and was called immortal by some due to his everlasting youth. Today, we will read a selection from Godfrey Ray King's book, Unveiled Mysteries. We will begin from a moment in one of Mr. Ballard and Saint Germain's journeys to a past civilization, where a prediction by the brother from out the silence about this ancient kingdom has been fulfilled. Excerpt from Chapter 2, The Sahara Desert. The visiting prince arrived the next day, discovered the condition of the empire and the consternation that still held sway over its people. He at once subtly planned to become its ruler. This he accomplished without opposition. 2,000 years later, most of that empire had become barren land. The streams dried up and desolation stretched everywhere. All the result of the discord and selfishness of mankind and the blight it becomes upon the growth of plant life in nature. This kingdom had extended the entire width of Africa on east until it reached the Himalayan mountains. There followed a great cataclysm, submerging all the land. Through that change, an inland sea was formed where the Sahara Desert now lies. Another earth change, which took place about 12,000 years ago, drained this sea, and a part of it later became the present Sahara Desert. The river Nile, as it is today, most nearly resembles the beautiful streams of that long-forgotten period. Thus ended our observation of those very ancient scenes. I could hardly believe my senses. I was so astonished at the way the experiences of the past were revivified, the pictures projected in all three dimensions, and the activity of the people in that remote age portrayed. Realizing how surprised and unaccustomed to such activities I was, Saint Germain promised to take me to the physical records of that period and its people, and give me physical proof that it was not a vision conjured up by him. Glancing around from the log upon which we were seated, we saw the panther lying nearby fast asleep. Saint Germain took up the explanation of several important phases on the application of higher laws for the manifesting of one's own inherent dominion over the things of the sense world. This led to how he was able to express such youth and perfection in a body so old, according to the way human beings count time. Eternal youth, he explained, is the flame of God abiding in the body of man, the Father's gift of himself to his creation. Youth and beauty of both mind and body can only be kept permanently by those individuals who are strong enough to shut out discord, and whoever does that can and will express perfection and maintain it. Where peace, love, and light do not abide within the thoughts and feelings of a human being, no amount of physical effort can possibly keep the outer self expressing youth and beauty. These exist eternally within the God flame, which is the divine self of every individual. Whatever discord the outer self allows to flash through the thought and feeling is, that instant, stamped upon the flesh of the physical body. Eternal youth and beauty are self-created and forever self-existent within the flame of God's life in every human being. This is God's plan for manifesting His perfection into the world of form and maintaining it forever. Youth, beauty, and perfection are attributes of love, which the God principle is continually pouring forth into its creation. Within each individual is placed the power and means for maintaining and increasing the perfect, ever-expanding activity of creation. The power of accomplishment is the energy of the God Self in each human being born into the world. It is always active every moment in your mind, body, and world. There is no instant in which this mighty energy is not flowing through all individuals. You are privileged to qualify it as you please at the command of your own free will through consciously directed thought and feeling. Thought is the only thing in the universe that can create vibration, and through vibration you qualify this ever-flowing energy with whatever you desire to have manifest in your life and world. This limitless, intelligent, radiant energy is flowing ceaselessly through your nervous system and is the eternal life and vitality in the bloodstream coursing through your veins. It is an all-powerful, omnipresent, intelligent activity given you by the Father, the God principle of life, to be consciously directed according to your free will. Real intelligence, which uses everything constructively, comes only from within the God principle, the flame of life, and is not merely the activity of the intellect. Real intelligence is wisdom or God knowledge, and this does not and cannot think wrong thoughts. Wrong thoughts come only from impressions made upon the intellect by the world, outside of the individual. If individuals would discriminate between their own thoughts, that is, thoughts from within their own God flame, and the suggestions thrown off by other people's intellects and the evidence of the senses which consider appearances only, they would be able to avoid all discordant activities and conditions in the world of experience. The light from within one's own God flame is the criterion, the standard of perfection by which all thoughts and feelings that reach us through the five senses should be tested. No one can keep his thoughts and feelings qualified with perfection unless he goes to the source of perfection, for that quality and perfection only abides within the God flame. This is the individual's need for meditation upon and communion with the light of God within himself. Pure life essence will not only give and sustain eternal youth and beauty in the body, but will enable you to maintain perfect balance between your God self and the outer or personal self. In fact, this pure life energy is the power which the outer self uses to hold its connection with its divine source, the God self. In reality, these two are one, except when the intellect or outer activity of the mind, the sense consciousness, accepts imperfection, inharmony, incompleteness, or thinks itself a creation apart from the all-pervading one presence of life. If the sense consciousness thinks itself something separate from God perfection, then that condition is established unto it. For what the sense consciousness thinks into its world, the world returns to it. When one lets an idea of imperfection or separation from God occupy his attention, and therefore his mind, a condition corresponding to that, begins to express itself in his body and world. This causes the person to feel himself an entity apart from his source. The moment he thinks himself separated from God, he thinks his life, intelligence, and power has beginning and end. Life always has been, is now, and always will be. No one can really destroy life. Through various activities in the mental and physical world, form can be disintegrated or temporarily demolished, but the consciousness of the individual is eternal and can control all substance everywhere in manifestation. When the God life within is acknowledged as the knower, giver, and doer of all good in creation. I tell you truth when I say there is only one source of all good, God. The conscious recognition and acceptance of this fact, acknowledged by the outer activity of the mind, not 2 or 3 times a day, but every few moments all day long, no matter what the outer self is doing, and this maintained, will enable anyone to express his perfect freedom and dominion over all things human. To most people, the above sounds difficult, for they have lived so many centuries in the belief that they are beings apart from God, while every instant of every day they are using God life, God energy, God substance, and God activity in everything they think and do without realizing it. However, it requires the conscious admitting of this fact in the outer activity of the mind and constructive direction to release its full power through the personal self. For more information on the Ascended Master Saint Germain, the I Am Teachings, and Godfrey Ray King's books, please visit saintgermainfoundation.org or saintgermainfoundation.ch. Inspiring viewers, it was an honor to have your company for today's Words of Wisdom. Please join us again tomorrow for part 2 of this program. Coming up next is the Taino, or Good People of the Caribbean, right after noteworthy news. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television for more uplifting programming. May the inner flame of God within us bring much light, love, and beauty to our world. Vegan, be someone that even your shadow brings joy.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Rancangan kami menawarkan banyak bahasa. Sila kunjungi suprememastertv.com/kehadapan schedule dan suprememastertv.com/kehadapan WOW.